We've had a pretty good week this week of practice. It was good to get outside today. The weather's kept us in 2 days in a row. Obviously need that work, especially in the kicking game, and I think it's good to, play in the conditions that you're going to play in. One of the things that we've been trying to get our players to sort of grasp is if you respect your talent, that's in anything that you do, then you have an obligation to yourself to work to be the best that you can be. That's what creates, positive consequences for you. Anything short of that, you're really facing a lot of regret, not only in football but also in life. So, this is something that I think every individual should be, very interested in doing. We're looking forward to, a great home game, a great atmosphere this week. They're going to try to go fast. They're going to try to go no huddle. I think noise can be disruptive to them. I'd like to see our fans, get into this game a little bit and, help our team out a little bit. We're taking part in the extra yard for teachers, this week, along with the college football playoff. I don't know how you feel about teachers, but I have a tremendous amount of respect for teachers, what they do to help people develop, grow. I know I could tell you my first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. I could tell you every teacher I ever had, when I was a kid growing up, because they all had some kind of significant impact on, my development as a person, and I certainly have an appreciation for the time they invested in me that, helped me graduate from college and have an opportunity to do what I love to do. So we don't have any new injuries to report, and, we're just trying to get ready to improve and play a better game this week.
I'm kind of curious, in the NFL, people talk about franchise quarterbacks that they know are going to be around for a while and build around them. In college, when you know you're going to have a quarterback or expect to have him for a few years, can you bring players in that fit what he does, or is there not really enough time to do it?
Well, I think, my philosophy in recruiting is you recruit the best possible players that you can, at every position, and try to focus on what a player can do, not what he can't do. And if that guy has special talents in some area, I think those things are going to be beneficial to our team and his contribution to the team in the future. So once you get those guys, you sort of do what they can do. And, you can go through all the quarterbacks that we've had since we've been here, and if you just take the last 3 years, they're all relatively different. But we had to build what we had around them based on what they could do. But they all had good enough talent in what they could do that we had pretty productive offense and scored a lot of points. So we've done the same thing with Jalen, and hopefully he'll continue to improve in some of the areas that will help him be more complete, but also we'll continue to take advantage of the things that he does well.
What you thought of Raekwon Davis in the 2 weeks since he's come back from his preseason injury, what he's done?
Well, I think Raekwon is, a guy that it's really important to him to be a good player. He works really hard. He gives great effort. Like all young players, I think that, they don't realize all the time the importance of paying attention to detail, understanding the situation, not just going 100 miles an hour, but playing a draw set or playing a screen set, a little bit different. I think those are the things that good players learn how to do, and play fast and play hard and be aggressive, but they still recognize things quickly. And I think that's the key to developing young players. And I think in Raekwon's case, as well as all the other young players that we have playing on our team, that's what knowledge and experience does for you, and hopefully as he gets that, he'll continue to even improve and play better. But we've been pleased with his performance to this point.
Come back to the right, Charlie.
J.K. Scott said that he sits down before every season and kind of writes down and plans out what he's going to do every week. How have you seen his preparation kind of translate to his consistency on the field?
Well, I think it's important that you've heard me say this 100 times before. I used to make the specialists be like everybody else on the team, but I don't think they really are. I think they're training to do something a little bit different, something that they're going to have to do 4, 5, 6 times in a game, not 70 times in a game like a defensive tackle or a cornerback or a quarterback or a wide receiver. So I think that takes a little different type of training. And I think that every guy has got to develop confidence in his training. So if a guy believes in his routine, he believes in the things that he does throughout the course of the week that's going to help him psychologically and physically be able to deliver the 5 or 6 times that he's got to deliver on Saturday, then we're very supportive of a guy doing that. And J.K. is, a tireless worker, really important to him to do well. So if we have any issue with him in terms of his routine, it's that to make sure that he doesn't do too much and that he stays in his routine and can maintain a level of consistency because of it.
I know you said no new injuries, but will Lester Cotton be able to play on Saturday? And if not, what's the plan in place to replace him?
Well, he practiced today. So, most of the time when he practiced yesterday, he practiced today. So most of the time when guys practice, they're able to play. So we have every thought that he will play in the game.
Right in front here with Kirk. Did you have him, Kirk?
Coach, we've heard the term about teams playing to win or teams playing not to lose. Do you buy into that at all? And if so, how does it play out? Have you ever seen it? And when you're preparing, does that have anything to do? Do you ever prepare like to win more than not to lose or anything
Well,
like that?
what we prepare for is for every guy to play to the best of his ability and to dominate the competition and dominate his box. All right, so if we can get everybody on our team to do that, I can live with the result. So I know how important it is for everybody out there externally for us to win the game. But for me as a coach, if we can get every player to play at a very high standard and a high level in terms of his effort, his toughness, his discipline to execute, we'll get the result that we want. And that's what we try to stay focused on. Now, I have seen players take the psychological disposition where they get in situations, that's why you say there's no scoreboard. That all of a sudden you get ahead or behind in a game and you let that affect how you play one way or the other. So we want to be aggressive at all times. We want to try to dominate our box. There's certain situations in the game where you need to play smart so that you can win the game, whether it's take the air out of the ball and make first downs on offense so the other team doesn't get another chance to score, or whether you got to stop them in 2 minutes on defense. So, I know that we all play to win, all right, but what we focus on here is what do you have to do to win? Let's focus on those things. What do you have to do to dominate, to be the best player you can be? So it's a little different disposition. And like all folks out there, I know how result-oriented everybody is, but our success usually comes from following the process and people following the process so that they have a better chance to put themselves in a position to get a positive consequence.
Two real quick ones. Just Jacobs, he's been out at practice. We've seen him doing stuff. You expect him to play this weekend?
I don't know. He's been practicing.
Okay. And lastly, we've seen, a lot of the freshman wide receivers have been grouped together on the field. Is there any reason for that? What do you kind of hope out of those kind of packages?
Well, it's not really a package. It's just trying to play guys, trying to get them experience. And, so we those guys are capable of playing and doing a job, but it just helps our other guys rest. And there's no real plan that those three guys are playing in a package and we do anything different when they're in the game or anything like that. So.
Last one here, Mark.
I know you said Saturday after the game that the plan was to play Tua at some point in the first half. Is that still the same plan this week, or how do you plan to manage that?
We haven't decided how we're going to play the guys. So, and I wouldn't tell you if I did. So, I don't mind you asking a question, but I don't need to answer it. But I will call Colorado State and tell them exactly what we want to do as soon as I get out of here. I know Mike Bobo, you know, his dad lives up by my house at Lake Raven, so I just call him up and tell him who we're playing, when, how long, when we're putting them in. We tell him the whole thing. All right? Is that all right with you? So you can call him and find out. All right, see y'all later.